I love spending my vacation on the Antiguan beach. This is Antigua and Barbuda, two small islands in the Lesser Antilles floating through the Caribbean Sea. The islands were first inhabited by the Arawak before they were driven out or maybe even eaten by the Caribs. The Caribs didn't get to enjoy their meal for long because Chrissy C ran into the island in 1493. He named one bearded and the other ancient, because you know, like Antigua and Barbuda.
This guy stinks!
Christopher C was a great guy. He even brought gifts for his new friends. You know, smallpox, measles, mumps. Great guy. What if he got his own day? Soon, the Carib population looked like my bank account. But the Spanish didn't really care and left the islands alone.
My tea, it needs something sweet.
Soon, the island of Antigua became a British sugar colony, bringing flavor to their favorite drink, while people on Barbuda got to live the fisherman's life. But the British people didn't come to grow sugar themselves.
How dirty!
Instead, they brought thousands of African slaves to the colony, a practice that was abolished in 1834. Antigua was finally granted independence to the British in 1981, and turned from sugar to tourism to make the big bucks. And I mean big. 60% of Antigua and Barbuda's GDP comes from tourism alone. Antigua boasts beautiful beaches and famous resorts. Might have to flaunt the beach bod in Antigua. Antigua also draws in foreigners by acting as a tax haven, something that backfired when their largest investor, Alan Stafford, was arrested for running a $110 billion Ponzi scheme out of the country. Stafford controlled Antiguan banks, leading to widespread bank failure around the country. And in its time of crisis, an unlikely hero saved Antigua, Hugo Chavez. The Venezuelan dictator helped prop up the country by giving it some yummy oil money. Antigua is also tight with the United States, who sends them airplanes full of tourists every year. But the tourism industry can change in the blink of an eye. Antigua loses money when tourists don't like to travel, like during the pandemic when their GDP plunged and debt rose. Just 3 years prior, the Category 5 Hurricane Irma hit the country, damaging every building on Barbuda and destroying infrastructure around Antigua. Antigua is also faced with the challenges of climate change, like rising sea levels that could cover its sandy beaches. But don't worry, Antigua's tallest mountain, Mount Barack Obama, shouldn't be going underwater anytime soon. Obama never actually visited the islands, and the mountain's name was changed back to Boggy Peak in 2016. Antigua's demographics mirror those of other Caribbean nations. 90% of the population is of African descent, and they speak a distinct dialect of English. Not all islands are made the same. 97% of people live on the island of Antigua, while Barbuda is smaller and only accessible by boat. Land-wise, the country is kinda small and home to only around 100,000 people. The capital, St. John's, is the country's largest city. Antigua also has a great Caribbean food culture, famous for its jerk chicken, conch, and roti. Antigua is constantly sharing its culture and competing with other islands in the Lesser Antilles, like St. Kitts, Martinique, and Trinidad. In all, Antigua is home to great Caribbean culture and an awesome beach vacation. Make sure to pack your bags, like this video, and subscribe for our next trip to Argentina!